Everybody, it's David. I guess now that I've started this thing, I can't stop. I realized tonight that I'm a horrible neighbor. And when I say that, and I know this is, I may upload it and put it on YouTube, so it'll be out there on the world wide web. So you have to understand this is coming from somebody who is, just extremely churched. But I realize that I am a horrible neighbor in that, a lot of times, we're in church and, you can be listening to other preachers preach and, they'll tell you to look at your neighbor and say X, Y, Z. And, after a while, it just begins to be exhausting. I don't mean any harm. I do ask that you pray for me. I'm always open for prayer. But after a while, I just want to say, if I'm going to do this much talking, I want you to give me the mic and let me preach. Now, again, I am a preacher, but, I like hearing the word. I like hearing preaching. I like hearing good sound preaching. I love that. It's not that I don't like my neighbor. I love my neighbor, but I don't want to talk to my neighbor when I'm trying to hear the word. There's something in there that's for me that's going to help me get through the rest of the day, the rest of the week or whatever. It just kind of, after a while, enough gets to be enough. I've got, another friend of mine who he's already said the minute they start talking about look at your neighbor, he says he gets up and he walks out. So, I'm a horrible neighbor. So please, if I'm ever sitting next to you and I don't, every time somebody says look at your neighbor, smack your neighbor, slap your neighbor, all that other kind of stuff, I'm not always going to respond to that. Talk with me, inbox me, whatever, if you've got some words of encouragement or some words of wisdom to share. But I think of it like this. As a preacher, I think it's very rude when people talk, and so, if I think it's rude, then it might upset me, and then I might, get to the point where I want to front you for talking while I'm preaching. And so I figure if it's not okay for me to talk any other time while somebody's preaching, I shouldn't be talking while you're preaching, and you're telling me to talk. So let me get that together. So I can't talk to my neighbor unless you tell me to talk to my neighbor. Otherwise, I'm out of order. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm a horrible neighbor. I admit it. And I just desire your prayers, your intercession, because I don't, I'll talk to them maybe once or twice, but I didn't come to preach. I came to hear you preach and hear others preach. So just pray for me that I don't continue to be a horrible neighbor. Just pray for me. I ask that all of my fellow ministers, because I'm not guilty of doing it a lot. I just ask all of my fellow yokesmen, yokeswomen, yokespersons in the gospel, I ask that you really just kind of, if you would kind of ease up on that and, just kind of give me a break. Because I don't want to, talk to my neighbor the whole time. I really want to hear the word and let it get down in my spirit, down to that marrow where it really needs to cut me and get me, kingdom aligned. So pray for this horrible neighbor. It's just a confession.